How's it going, everyone? It's Gadgets Boy, and this is the Hyundai fuel cell vehicle. This is the ix35 fuel cell. So the reason why I'm bringing this to you guys is because it's got an amazing technology that powers this car to enable it to offer a longer distance in comparison to your electric vehicles out there today. So it's all about that environmentally friendly movement. So if you want to buy a car, that means you get zero emission out of it. It's expensive to start with, around £53,000 to buy, but on the long run you save a lot of money. So for example, you can fill up the tank very quickly and that will cover you just over 360 miles, and that is a lot. That means I can come to New Forest, where I am now, and go back home, back to London, and no problem at all, which is great in comparison to an electric vehicle that will probably cover me about 200 miles or less. I'm not going to go too much into details just yet into how the fuel cell works, because that's sort of like, that's a whole lot of chemistry going on, and I haven't done chemistry till since back in college, so that's something else to look into. I'll leave a link as well to how that works, explanation and all that sort of stuff, but I'll try and touch on that just a little bit. Elsewhere, you've also got the 24 kilowatts of battery in there as well, so they both work hand in hand, and I will give you a really good power in there for such a vehicle that's not petrol or diesel powered. So this will offer you about 134 brake horsepower, which is enough to get around town, and this will top speed about 100 miles per hour. So again, if you're going to get on the motorway, that's enough for you. You don't want to go over that anyway. You get banned if you get caught doing that anyway. The car itself is kind of heavy when you drive it around, and you might feel it somewhat. So this weighs just about 1,830 kilograms, so it's quite heavy, especially when you compare it to the standard ix35 as well. So again, it's not a big deal. It's not much of a big deal at all. It's got a big tank in the back. So if you spot this car around town, it looks absolutely normal. Apart from this one I'm currently driving, it's got all the vinyls and decals at the moment, which obviously says fuel cell, so people can see that this is the new thing that's out in town right now. But if you were to buy this out of the factory, it won't have all that, which means it just looks absolutely normal. Driving around in town feels smooth. In fact, I could almost describe it going from a diesel car to this as when you spray WD-40 on a squeaky door, and eventually becomes really smooth, quiet, and there's no noise at all. So it feels like that. It's just quiet. When you start the engine, you hear nothing at all. It's got Bluetooth, it's got sat nav to go, heated seats. Up there you've got your hydrogen sensor as well, so in case it leaks or anything, although that's rare, but for health and safety, they need to have that in the car. So the one that I've got here is a left-handed drive vehicle, and obviously the first time you drive it coming from the right-hand side will feel weird at first, but once you get a hang of it, and it's just normal. And especially if you drive around Europe as well already, this won't be anything new to you at all. And this is great for doing my review, because you know what, the car's quiet, which means my microphone is not picking up extra noise and stuff like that. That's a bonus for me. What else should we talk about here? So leg room, great. There's no problem with that at all. You've got all your controls on the steering as well, so in terms of controlling the sound, muting, making phone calls, it's all in the steering, so you don't have to take your hands off the steering at all. Okay, so this is inside the car, and I just wanted to show you around what it looks like inside. So this is the steering wheel, and what you've got is just a standard system here. So you've got your volume control there, you've got your mode and mute, and that's used to change the track and scroll up and down. And then you've got your answer call buttons there to end and answer calls, and your voice control button right there. So if we come down here, you see where you control your climate control system there. So that's your power button, your light, interior light control and stuff like that. So you got your rear button there for rear heating, so you can heat the windows at the back. Down here you got your auxiliary port and USB ports as well for iPod and stuff like that. And you got a port for plugging in your cigarette stuff, like your cigarette lighter, and you can plug in a USB charger there as well, like I've done. So I've got like an extra power USB cigarette lighter stuff there, gadget there that goes in there. Here you got a single speed automatic gearbox, so it's just standard, simple to use. Go all the way down to drive, flick it up to go to economy mode, again to save a bit of power, and you can go a bit further than you would on the standard driving mode. If we look in here, this is where you'd find where your key can be docked. So in here is just a push to eject, and you can put it back in there as well, which is pretty cool. It just means you won't be losing your keys anytime soon, especially what I did when I had a different car before. I couldn't remember where my car was, where my key was. But here you got a CD player as well, so you can plug in your CD. And here, this might be a bit loud, here we go. Let's plug that down, turn that down. And this is touchscreen as well, so you can control it via touchscreen. So you're not, it's easy to take control and stuff. Pressing media, you can easily control via Bluetooth, connect via Bluetooth to your smartphone, like I've done right now. So that's connected to my iPhone. Looking out here, this is where your gauges are. So you got your fuel control, fuel gauge area. Fuel gauge is there with your speedometer there, and then that tells you how many miles you got left. So I got 167 miles there before I need to fill up again, and that will tell you your power and when it's charging as well. So everything's really simple and easy to read. And I was saying earlier where you've got some sensors and stuff. So up here is your microphone, so when you're making and receiving calls, and up here, let's just bit that brighter a little bit, that's your hydrogen sensor. So again, if it happens to leak for whatever reason, that's where the sensor would pick it up, which is straightforward. And then you got your back seat there, really spacious, and nice leather seats, nice leather interior, and they're heated as well, so you can control the heated seat settings there, so you can control both sides as you wish. And then on this side is just your window control and your mirror control as well. So nice and easy, straightforward. And let's look around the outside of the car. So this is outside of the vehicle, excuse the windy condition. So you can see the wheels, like I was mentioning earlier, it doesn't look anything different from a standard car. That's where you'd fill up the tank. It takes literally under 5 minutes to fill up again. It's really quick. And this is the back of the car, back of the vehicle. You can see it just looks standard. There's nothing new. In fact, the only reason you'd know this is different is the fact that they've got fuel cell written there. And if you know about your car, you know the ix35 is on that economical, environmental friendly range kind of thing. And this is a 5-door, so you can see the fuel cell written on the side. Again, that won't come with the full version if you were to buy them. So you got your LED indicator lights on the mirror there, and it's just a compact SUV. If you look on the front, again, the grille looks absolutely simple, looks just like a normal car, regular car. It looks like a car, it is a car. It's a compact SUV, and the only reason you spot that this is different is because this is slightly blue. So if you look at that, it's got that blue tint again for the fuel cell branding. And then on this side, again, just a standard looking vehicle. I keep saying standard just because I'm trying to let you guys see that it just looks like a normal car. There's nothing different about this because it's fuel cell powered. It doesn't mean anything. See if I can pop the boot open so you can show you guys the size of the boot. So you can see there, really nice big boot. And then underneath here, you can see your tank just underneath there, your hydrogen tank. So again, nicely tucked away and secure. You can still put a bit of your suitcases and stuff in there. I think that's big enough to fit that in there. Another thing about this, guys, is no handbrake in terms of in the usual sense. So you have to use your foot to do this one. So there's a little kick down area there you can use to activate your foot brake kind of thing. So that's to open the fuel tank, and that's to open the bonnet as well. But other than that, it's just a really nice car in terms of economical. It will go a long, far distance, saves you money. And this is electric seat control, so you can use it to move back and forth, change the back seat. I don't actually sit like this when I drive. It's just for me to get a really good wide angle on what I was doing. So while I'm stopped here, I thought I'd explain a bit more about the fuel cell technology. So underneath the bonnet at the front, we've got fuel stacks there, and then underneath the car, there's a hybrid power pack that's underneath there. So again, it helps with the weight distribution of the car. So what happens is when the hydrogen flows over the anode, it splits into hydrogen protons and electrons as well. Again, this is all chemistry, so I'm not the expert on this. I just kind of studied how it works and to understand it enough. So like I was saying, when the hydrogen flows over the anode and it splits into hydrogen protons and electrons, what then happens is the electrons travel sort of to an external circuit, and this operates the motor as a powering sort of train for the car. So it helps move the car forward and stuff like that. So what then happens is at the cathode, electrons and protons react with oxygen, and then the byproduct of that is water. This is why when you sort of put your foot down on the motorway, for example, you get little droplets of water that comes out of the exhaust pipe at the back. Again, actually, they've tried this before just for safety and stuff like that, and the water that comes out is actually quite clean. You can actually drink it. Although, don't blame me, I'm not saying drink it. I'm just saying this is how clean this sort of fuel cell technology is, and this is what's powering the car. So again, depending on what mode you've got it in economic or normal drive mode, the combination of the fuel cell technology and the battery in there as well gives you that 134 brake horsepower. So you can easily move off the line quickly enough. Again, 0 to 60 62 seconds, 0 to 62, sorry, in about 12.5 seconds. It's not the fastest, it's not the best, but again, it's great for just urban, moving around town. And the power is there as well if you really need to get on the motorway and go a bit longer, because you get 369 miles. Again, it's equivalent to about 60 miles per gallon. So if you drive a petrol or diesel car, you get a better understanding of how fuel efficient this is. But anyway, guys, do let me know if you have any questions about the fuel cell technology and how it works. I've just sort of like touched on it ever so slightly, but there's more about it. There's more in this. You can dive deeper into how it works and stuff. And again, links will be in the description area, so you guys can read about it yourself and find out more about the electrons, the protons, and the cathode, anode, all that stuff. But yes, really nice car. And let me know what you think. Drop a comment below, and any questions do ask me as well. I'll drop a link about how the hydrogen fuel stuff works, and so you guys can look a bit more on that. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.